What's up? Okay. So you divide by 12. How do you reduce this?
Divide by 3.
Yeah. 7/4. Graph and give interval notation for the inequalities. Yeah. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. So let me give you guys the answer key. It sounds like a decent number of you guys have actually tried the practice test. So, real quick word about this. This is our first answer key. Do not do this. Yeah. I would have done that. Yeah. Because then, of course, you're building false confidence. It's easy to agree with somebody, right?
No, we
Yeah,
solved.
Jeff,
We solved.
you did that right.
We solved it.
In fact, I mean, I'm human. You never know. You want to look through this and make sure I got this right. I'm averaging about a 97 on my answer keys. So I feel pretty good about that. And quick thing, this answer key, I didn't want to redo it, but I did change a couple of number 4 problems, so we're going to do it together. So hold on, when you get this, just look at number 4 and see if you can see what I mean. We'll do this together, don't worry. I just don't want to redo this. Make sure you got 2 sides to this also. There's an extra one there. Go ahead. Should be anyway. Hopefully. There you go. Good. All right. So let's see. Number 4. Do you notice how 4A is the same, 4B is the same, 4C is the same, 4D is the same? 4E on the answer key doesn't exist anymore in the practice test. You with me? I changed that to some inequalities. 4F is now on the answer key. It's for where'd it go? Oh, yeah, 4F's not there. So you guys with me? So 4E on the answer key, just you can cross through that, right? That's an old problem. I took it out. And 4F on the answer key is the first 4F on the practice test. I like it. Okay. So if you can't handle that, I don't know what to do for you. We're gonna do 4E on the answer key does not exist on the. You can cross that out. The other ones are a little out of order, but they're all there. 4F, the second 4F, and the 4G, the inequalities on the practice test. We're going to do them right now on the board, so you have them. They're not on your answer key. So 4F. The second 4F. Stay with me. All right. So how do you solve that?
Negative
Subtract
1. Subtract.
Do I flip the sign? No, because they didn't divide or multiply by negative. Good. Now what's going to happen though?
Divided by negative.
So what do you get now? You get x
Equals negative.
Greater than 2.
less than negative 2.
Yeah.
Got to flip it because what I just do, we divided by negative. I got to flip it.
Oh, there's 2 F's.
I will
There's
forget.
2 f's. That's the second 4.
I will forget to change the symbol.
Oh shit. Let me show you something. Watch this. This is weird. Real quick. I would never do this really, but now let me just show you this. Couldn't I add 2x and then subtract 4? You guys see that?
Yeah.
That's weird, isn't it? We normally wouldn't do that. Why would we do that shit? But if I add 2x, I'll get 0, right? And then if I subtract 4, I'll get negative 4 greater than 2x. Can you guys read that backwards? Negative 4 greater than 2x, 2x less than. So look, didn't that become a less than sign? So if I move the x's, they move to the other side of the sign. If I don't move the x's, the sign's got to turn because it's not pointing the right way now. I mean, so they both have to agree with each other. I don't know if you guys understand. So if you wanted to, you could always just make sure your variables are positive. If you wanted to, right? Then your sign will always be in the right direction. Or just remember when you divide and multiply, you got to flip it.
Okay.
Right? What does this look like if I graph it?
To the left.
That's right, so shade this way. And what's going to be on the negative 2? Per, because you want to put an open circle in the old days, you just put half of it. Save some time. And then, yeah.
Why is 0 a rational number?
Why is 0 rational? Is that the question? Alright. Okay, let's finish this real quick.
Okay.
How do I interval notation this?
Parentheses, negative,
Negative.
Infinity.
comma, -2, parentheses.
Yeah. So that you've already got. That, the shading forever is captured by this. Shading forever means you go down to negative infinity.
So both right, the infinity sign would be on the right side of the parentheses.
So yeah, if I had this, like this, it would be from negative 2 up to
Oh, okay.
infinity. Right? Because it's always smallest, comma, biggest. Yeah?
Yes.
Is your 4G supposed to be our 4E?
Yeah, let's see. 4G. Yeah, I think that's one that let's see, what did I do wrong there?
Forgot to bring an X.
Oh yeah, forgot to bring an X. Yeah, good. So we did it earlier. I like it. Good, thank you. So I knew there was a mistake on there somewhere. There's at least one mistake on there.
4G.
Cool. So not to make excuses for myself, I'm human. Humans make mistakes. Math is not about always being right. Math is knowing what you always need to do. Will you always do it correctly? No. Right? Just like Stephen Curry. He plays basketball really well, but sometimes he passes the ball to the wrong team. And sometimes he misses shots. Yes?
We have the sign equal instead of the less. How do we draft it?
You don't. You don't. You could. If it was x equals negative 2, here's how you graph it. I'm done. So, but I didn't ask you to do that, did I? I didn't ask you to.
No,
I
it's
said,
like-
yeah, okay. So, it's okay. Coming back to before we do the next piece. Rational numbers real quick. What are rational numbers? What are they? What's the definition of rational numbers? What's the root word of rational?
Fractional decimal.
Okay, yeah. Anything that can be written as a fraction. So why is 7 rational? Because I can put it over 1. So why is 0 rational? Because I can put it over 1. Can't put it over 0. You can't put shit over 0. 0 over 1 is the same as 0, isn't it? In fact, I can put 0 over any number I want to except 0, and it's still 0, isn't it? So is it rational? Yes, because I can write it as a ratio of whole numbers.
Ratio rational. Okay.
Yeah, look at that. It's great. Ratio. I like it. All right. So So coming back to for G on your blank practice test. Let's do that one because it's not on the answer key. 4G. All right. Sounds like, got 4G, not 3G. Yay. So 4G, so we got 3x minus 1 minus x, less or equal to 5 plus x. So how do you do this? What's the first thing you do?
Distribute the negative 4, technically. So it's -4
Minus 4 plus
plus
x.
x.
Now, what do you think, real quick? What if somebody put a 12 here? What do you think they're thinking?
The 3.
That the 3 somehow comes way over there? No. So I saw a few people do that, but be careful. What's the only thing in front of this? -1. That's the only thing that can go through then. That's way the hell over there. How the hell is it going to get way over there? It can't. All right, now what's next?
Combine like terms.
Sure.
X plus x equals 4x minus 4.
And don't put an equal sign and then bring it back in, because you'll lose if you have to turn it. You'll forget, you'll not realize you have to turn it. Don't put equal signs in here. Use the sign you got. What's the next step?
Plus 4.
Good? And also I can take x away, is that cool?
Yeah.
So you get 3x less than or equal to,
What?
9.
Oh, nice.
and then the last step,
Divide
divide by 3. So x,
3
3,
less than or greater
less than or equal to.
or equal to.
The less than or greater than is like covering your ass.
It's not a negative, correct?
Say again?
It stayed that way because it's not.
I didn't divide by a negative number, that's right. So not if there's a negative somewhere in your problem, it's if you divide or multiply by negative, you've now changed the side they're on. So the inequality's got to switch.
That's because multiplying or dividing by negative, you have to change the sign. If you change the sign, you have to actually turn the direction of the arrow.
It's called a
Negative,
it's
and
called
all
a,
of sudden, the negative's not going to be bigger than
yes.
on the positive.
It's called a non-order preserving function. If you multiply by negative or divide by negative, it changes the order the numbers were in.
Oh, I didn't
All right.
move mine, but it's correct. Oh, you didn't need it.
Move it? What do you
I
mean?
didn't flip it.
No, you're not supposed to. I didn't divide and multiply by negative.
Okay.
So we did.
Okay.
And then to graph this, it would be, what would be on the 3?
Bracket.
Bracket. Shade down, right?
Yeah.
So then it would be from,
The negative infinity,
negative.
comma, 3. Right.
see that? Goes there. It's already done for you. That's why we don't use the circles.
How do you know when to use a bracket or use parentheses?
When you see that, here's a nice one. Use the symbol that's got it. How's that sound? You see that? If it's got the line, use the symbol with a line. If it don't got the line, use the symbol without the line.
So it's equal to use bracket.
Yep. Because see, look, it looks like an equal sign that's been really pulled apart.
Alright.
However, whatever makes sense. Looks like a monster with an equal sign mouth, and you stuck a big stick in it. Ah! Geek me, I'm thinking about Return of the Jedi when he puts a rank order on it. Or not. It's too early for them to keep shit. Too bad. Okay.
We'll just explain number 45 on 2-5. I just didn't know exactly what was.
Yeah.
Just plug in that, the 8 for the.
Yes. And we see problems like this earlier, and you guys weren't sure what to make of them then either. But they always have examples. So here's the actual inequality. So they're saying, let's investigate this a little bit differently. Let's look at the pieces of this inequality directly. Instead of solving it algebraically, let's do it visually with a table. So they say, okay, they gave us some x's, which is nice. So what's 5 minus negative 3? So now I'm just going to do it's like an XY table that they flipped over to be this way for some reason. You don't have to, but what's 5 minus negative 3? 8. No, not negative 8. Do you guys? What's 5 minus negative 3? It's 5 plus 3. 8. You guys with me? So I'm plugging these values in, just like an XY table. 5 minus negative 2 is 7. Now, do you see the pattern? Do I have to actually do the work anymore?
6,
6,
5,
5,
4.
All right, that's what math's all about, is noticing patterns so you have less work to do. Now here, just add 7. No, what's negative 3 plus 7?
4,
What's negative 2 plus 7?
5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, but are we showing
Alright.
you work? That's
No, you should be able to do that. That's
Oh,
fine. That's
okay.
fine. Now, you're not done. When you fill those in, you're not done. That's the first part of the problem. The second part of the problem is solve this using what you just did. That's the weird part, right? And you're like, what the freaking hell? When are these two equal to each other? At what x value are they equal? Yeah, so this problem showed up earlier in the chapter 2, didn't it? Where they had an equal sign, then your answer would have been negative 1. Why? Because that's when they're equal to each other. Holy shit. So what is it saying? You want this guy to be greater than this guy. When is this bigger than this? Is it over here? Is it bigger?
Yes.
No.
It's back here. So at -1, they're equal.
Do you have to do a line graph for this one?
No.
Minus 2 and minus
No.
7.
We got it. No. But I picked -2. Could I have picked -1.87?
Yeah.
Could I have plugged that in? Of course I could have. So look, at -1, they're equal to each other. Above -1, this is reversed. It's not the right answer. So what's the right answer? All the x's that are less than. So the answer is less than -1. That, bam. Why? Because below -1, that is bigger than this, isn't it? It's just a different way to look at the same problem. And that's actually, when you get far enough in math, some problems are easier to do if you translate them into a visual. They're easier. In fact, there are some problems that are almost impossible to do unless you put them in a visual. So this is not totally visual, not graphing this. You don't have to graph this. But these are the points that these go through, aren't they?
Yeah.
So you can just look at it and say, when are the outputs here bigger than the outputs there? Down here, below -1. That's the answer. So what can you do? You can, on the side, another sheet of paper, don't even show me this, just freaking solve it. So you know what the answer is going in. I mean, come on, I can't see what you're doing on other sheets of paper. What the hell? I'm not giving you a general tip. I'm just saying it's not a bad idea to just solve it. See what the hell's going on. So if you solve this, what happens? I get 2x less than -2, so I get x less than -1. Bam, you get the same thing. Yes, sir.
Where is this?
Oh,
5.
yeah, it's number 45 and 25.
25 and 25.
Yes.
If you have a fraction and any polynomial, can you graph it with decimal?
No. You could, but no, don't do that. So if I got x less than -11 over 497.
Well, that would be the same.
No. What are you talking about? You're not in Math 88 anymore.
Like 4 over 5.
So I'm not asking you if you know how to put together a number line. So what am I going to put right in the middle?
0.
0.
No, I'm going to put that freaking number. What we've been doing forever.
Yeah.
And then which way am I going to shade?
That.
Down. And then what I'm going to put on there?
Parentheses.
Let's see. I mean, you see what I mean? So I'm not asking you. If I wanted you to, you should be able to approximate where this is. And that is not a difficult thing. Don't let that be difficult. Is that a big or a small number? Small negative number. What's it going to be in between then? What's it close to? You just told me it's small. So it's close to what? 0. On which side? On the negative side. So if I had approximate, I'd say maybe there. I don't know, shit. But that's really good for an approximation. It's negative, but it's really tiny. Bam. Do I need that? No. You have other shit going on. Shade the right way, put the right symbol. There's enough other stuff going on. This is Math 88. This is other shit on top of that. So you should have to be able to do that if I wanted you to, but I'm not asking you to. Okay.
How about the 8C? Solve for n.
Ooh, yeah. Is that on the answer key? Yeah. What's the worst? Huh? What? What's the worst part of that problem? And don't say the fact that it's down there, but if you had to do this, if you had a gun to your head to do this, what's the part of this problem that you wish wasn't there?
Fraction.
The fraction. So it's an equation. I can kill any damn fraction I want to in an equation, right? No, you're in my house. I own this equation. I'm gonna kill you. Yes.
So we use cross multiplication?
No. Not really.
So would be.
You just have, what do you have to do to kill the divided by c? Multiply by c. So it's sort of cross multiply, but don't look at it out. It makes you just multiply by c because you don't want the divided by c to be there. So what do I do to this side?
Multiply by c.
Multiply by c.
See the.
So that killed that piece. The CW. We can't believe we're still in the air either. And how do I get n by itself? Why is n not by itself? What's the operation?
Because m is
Yeah, because these stupid things are there, and they're doing what to m?
adding c.
So how do I kill them?
Subtract.
Yeah. Both sides, minus m, minus 2f. What's CW minus n minus 2f? CW minus equals, you're done. Yes, sir.
While I was looking that up and looking at the answer sheet, I realized I did that one correctly, but I did not do the A correctly.
Oh, okay. Oh, so is that the same thing? Yes.
Oh, sorry, I did it backwards. I just put the E on the other side.
Oh, okay, you're fine.
So, never mind.
Okay. I could do that.
Why on the B after, like the B, 8B, how come you can't divide 3y and 6y at the end? Like you have the answers equal 6y over
Oh.
3y. How
You,
come those
you,
don't
you
count?
could if you did it correctly. So on A, B, right? I end up with this answer. I end up with m equals a plus 6y over 3y, right?
Oh, you can't do the A and the.
So you could. There's one thing you could do that you could argue is not really simplifying. What's being divided by 3y? A is, and 6y is. So the mistake people make is they cancel this and somehow A escapes being divided. A is like, yeah. No, you can't escape, sucker. You can't. I'm going to get you. So what's this? No.
2.
What do the y's do?
Okay.
Yeah. Bam, 6 by 2. So you could say it's this. So I'll take either one of these answers. You just can't kill these and say it's A plus 2. That doesn't make any sense. Because the A was being divided. How did it escape being divided? That's not fair. Good.
I think I have it. Oh no.
So I have this, right? This is fine.
Mine says A equals 3y times m minus 2.
Yes, I know. But the question was why the answer looked the way it did. Why can't I go further? So I started at the answer and said you could go further if you went further correctly. Yeah. So that's the answer I got. If you give me this answer, you're fine. It's the same thing. Would you say that that's more simplified than that? I don't know. Depends on what you're going to do next. What am I going to do next? Nothing, because that's the end. So that's why I'll take either way. Who cares? They're both the same. It's sort of like, that's giving me an answer like this, and that's giving me an answer like this. Is either one of these more right? No. They're just different ways of writing the same number. So that's why I don't care. That or that. I don't care. Like, nobody has a question, but nobody wants to go anywhere because, like, I might miss a good question.
Can you just do 105 on 2.5, or is it just subtracting and then?
Oh, okay. So This one's interesting. How do I find the average of two grades?
And then divide by the numbers that you added.
Add them, divide by 2, because there's 2 of them. So they tell me that a student made a 74 on one test. And they ask me, what does he have to make on the next test so it averages to be an 80? Yeah. So he wants it to be at least an average of an 80. At least an 80. So what does that mean mathematically? I want the average to be at least 80. How do I write that as a symbol?
Greater than or
Beautiful.
equal to.
If you have to be at least this tall to ride the ride, you can be that tall or taller. So at least means that or more. I like it. If I said at most, you could be at most 12 to eat off the kids' menu at Denny's. You can't be bigger. It's got to be that or less, right? So at most would be less than or equal to. Okay. So how do I write the average? What is the grade on test 2? What is it?
X.
Good. So how do I average any two numbers? Add them.
Plus X.
And then divide by
Or is it greater than?
2. And then you just, so that's the average, right? That's the average, and that's got to be greater than or equal to 80. Now solve for x. There's, of course, a quicker way to do this. How many points below 80 is this? So how many points above 80 must this be? So it's got to be 86 or more, right? That's what you're going to get when you solve this. Is that good enough for me? No. Nah. In Math 120, that would be good enough. Because Math 120 says, oh, you survived all your algebra, now let's do general problem solving. Whereas algebra sometimes is the best way, but not the only way. In this class, you better freaking use algebra. Okay. It's crazy. It's in the title. It's insane.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Number 6, letter B.
Oh, yeah, good. All right. Now, real quick, if I said twice a number, how would you write that?
2 times the number.
What happened? Yeah, twice a number would be 2x. Because whatever that is, I'm going to double it, right? So, this problem says twice the difference. So what am I going to double?
The result of a subtraction problem.
Good. So twice the difference of between 7 and 4 times a number. So whatever this is, I'm going to double it. So how do I write this? The difference between 7 and 4 times a number.
Difference minus
7 minus 4.
7 minus 4
4.
x.
Divided by 2.
You keep wanting to divide. Twice. Yeah. Twice that difference. So how do I do twice anything? I figure out what that thing is, and then I stick a 2 in front of it. That's how I double anything. So twice the difference. Oh shit, what's the difference? Stick a 2 in front of it. So it's going to double that. If you do this, you did a totally different problem. You did twice 7, take away, that's not what I said.
So could I get the answer by saying 7 minus 4x equals 2y?
No, it's not an equation. Nowhere in there do I tell you what it is. I didn't say is anywhere in there. There's no equals. Twice the difference of 7 and 4 times the number. I didn't say is anywhere. Yeah. It's okay to go. It's okay. If you're ready for the time, actually we're out of time anyway, so. If you have more questions, you can come see me in the office, or I'll be in there tomorrow before class. Sure. Everybody got the quiz back, right?
Yes.